I have got the same capabilities as 3. Like I said, we can power devices. All we've got to do is hook that up and press the button forward. We've got our 12 volts. We're going to power up the light. Okay? We've got the relay and continuity tester. As soon as you plug it in, this becomes that tester. So the technician won't need to buy a separate tool for that. It does power up the devices just like we were talking about the Power Pro 3. Okay? Or it can provide a ground, for instance, and he can see whether the injector is operating or not because those are ground control. The hotshot feature is that intermittent problem diagnostic tool that is going to save the tech so much time. When you touch this to a battery positive, you'll see that you got the red indicator indicating close to 12 volts, and it reads tip voltage and battery voltage on the screen. It's also got a lightning bolt in the corner. Let me see if I can stay on the battery pose. I'm going to hotshot that. Did you see it? It says pass. In 1 second. Boom. It loaded that circuit, read it at the battery, and said it hadn't been modified at all. I can do that to positive or negative. It became an ohm meter. I hotshot, that one passed. Now, if the circuit has corrosion, resistance, or some sort of problem, loose terminal contact, you're going to have a different result. You can see that it turned to an ohm meter, indicating that it is a ground. If I hotshot it and it fails, that circuit's integrity is in question. And we know there's a green monster built in there, all right, because it's attached right to the battery negative. And it should have the same resistance value. We know that that circuit's got a problem. Voltage drop testing in the technician's hand. We always have battery voltage on the screen. If we touch it to a fuse, we should be able to see our tip voltage is 12.5. Battery voltage didn't change. If we touch it to a circuit whose integrity is in question, I've got 9.2 now on tip voltage and 12.5. They're not the same. I've got a voltage drop, don't I? I didn't have to do any math. They're different. That's all it takes. Remember the amperage we were talking about? How much amperage this has to... that beacon, remember arc detect? It said those brushes have an arc taking place, and it was detecting and protecting the circuit. I wasn't able to melt new wiring or fry anything, okay? But once it got rotating, it took a lot less amperage. The brushes weren't arcing. It's able to withstand that. I don't know if you saw how many amps that was taking. Well, it was up above 30, 35 when it first started. 7 or 8 now operating. But it takes that much of an inrush, 35 amps, to get it started. Of course, Power Pro 3 can't withstand that. Right. You know? It's just a phenomenal tool. There's so many tools in one. Ohm meter, amp meter, volt meter, continuity tester. And of course, does the same thing. Biggest complaint is it's so large. What the technician needs to do is his remote testing, take his lead, and then put his alligator clip or back probe or whatever, and do all the same testing remotely. Okay, that's the only complaint you're going to get. It's too big to fit between the engine and the firewall or up in the dash. Well, you can do this and still have all the same functions remotely. Okay, and it's called the hook because it hangs around. Yeah, that's not an inductive clamp, but I use this under a dash. Like I said, when I'm laying down under a dash, I've got this hanging on a wire harness, and I've got all my functions remotely up here working on those connectors.
Does that come with that lead you just plugged in there?
No, this lead is separate. What it does come with is the battery, the relay tester, and of course the negative clamp for the fused ground connection. All right. These leads are sold separately.
You can buy a rear lead kit.
You can buy a lead kit, or you can buy a combo kit, or anything like that. Or you can even buy these individually. They're different lengths, and as you can see, they're super high quality. You know.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Very informative.